We'll start this tutorial by clicking on Simulation in the Start dialog box. Next, we'll select a geometry file by first clicking on the options Geometry and then From File. Then we'll select the file Plane Wall. We'll now check the units by using Units pull-down menu. In order to define the material, we'll first expand Geometry in the Outline window and then select Part 1. In the Details window pane, we'll now select the current material and then click on Import. We'll now highlight Tutorial Material Database, then select Wall Material for Tutorial 13-1. In order to define the analysis type, we'll click on New Analysis in the toolbar and then select Steady State Thermal. The next step is to set the outside surface temperatures by first selecting Steady State Thermal in the outline window and then selecting the two largest walls. Now we'll click on Temperature and then in the Details View window enter a value of 25 for magnitude and press the Enter key. We now need to set the remaining faces to perfectly insulated boundary conditions. So we'll select the other four faces and then click on Heat and Perfectly Insulated. In order to define the internal heat generation, we'll select the solid body and then click on Heat and then Internal Heat Generation. In the Details window pane, we'll now enter 0.0001 and then press the Enter key. The next step is to request the results, so we'll select Solution in the Outline window and then click on the solid. Now we'll click on Thermal and Temperature. For our other result, we'll click on Thermal and then Total Heat Flux. We'll also request temperature results for one of the edges by first selecting the edge and then click on Thermal and Temperature. In the Details window pane, we'll verify that only one edge was selected and then click on Solution, followed by selecting the Probe pull-down menu option, Reaction. In the Details window pane, for the boundary condition, we'll select Temperature from the pull-down menu. Now, after saving our project, we'll click on Solve. We'll now review the results by first clicking on Temperature to see the temperature distribution for the entire wall segment. To view the heat flux results, we'll click on Total Heat Flux. Then, in the Result toolbar, we'll click on the horizontal arrows to switch to Vector Display, and then adjust the display. We'll now click the right mouse button and then select View and Front. The vector display shows that the heat flow is occurring only to the sides of the wall where the temperature boundary conditions were imposed. Next, we'll click on Reaction Probe and read the total heat flow out of the wall in the Details window pane. Finally, by clicking on Temperature 2, we can review the temperature distribution on the top edge.